Hello, my friend, and welcome back to the Path to Better A1C podcast. I am your host, Jenny Peña, National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach, founder CEO of GenP Coaching, and specializing in diabetes prevention. And loving to come here every week, every Friday morning, and giving you some awareness, some education, and some strategies that you can apply right away. And before we get started, because the topic today is very interesting about hunger and habit. But before we get started, please don't forget to grab your free blood sugar balancing snacks list at subscribepage.io/snacks. It is a very simple resource. I created it, I actually modified it recently to help you stay steady and make intentional choices when cravings hit. Okay? Well, all right, let's dive in. Here's a question for you. How do you know if you're really hungry or if you're just eating out of habit? Because this is something that a lot of us, I'm going to put myself in there, sometimes we don't have it as clear. We have all been there, right? Standing in front of the fridge or reaching out for a snack and then realizing, wait a second, am I actually hungry? Or am I just eating because, well, what is there to do, right? Today, we are going to break down why this happens. Because knowing the difference between hunger and habit can actually change sustainably how you eat, how you feel, and how you manage your blood sugar. Now, hunger is your body's physical signal for fuel. You will notice the signs. You will have the stomach glowing, and you're going to have all these energy dipping, and maybe you're getting irritable, you're getting moody, you're getting hangry, and having trouble focusing, right? Like those are noticeable signs that you're hungry. And hunger usually builds gradually. That is like one of the key components. It is gradual. It's not that you were fine and all of a sudden you're about to die. It's not sudden. And when you're truly hungry, most foods sound appealing. You're open for options. You're open for a meal, for a snack, or something simple. And here's the key: when you respond to hunger with food, it eases. You feel satisfied, your energy lifts, and that's your body saying, thank you so much for listening, right? Now, what habit hunger looks like, it's a little bit different. Habit hunger, on the other hand, comes from cues and routines. It doesn't come from your stomach. And maybe you always snack while watching Netflix, or your brain says 3 o'clock means cookie time. Over time, these associations get so wired in, your body just starts expecting that food, even if it doesn't need fuel. Unlike true hunger, habit hunger is picky. You don't want just any food, right? It's not about the fuel. You want a very specific thing. And even if you eat it, you might notice that the satisfaction doesn't go away for too long. It seems like it doesn't last. I worked with someone who always made popcorn at 9 p.m., not because he was hungry, but because the routine of the TV and the popcorn was so strong. And that is what habit hunger is. Now, why do habits form this way, right? Like, and it's not just with food, right? Like, whatever I'm sharing, this particular portion, it's not just about food, it's about habits in general. Our brains are efficiency machines. Every time we repeat an action, right, whether it be snack with coffee, a dessert after dinner, the brain connects the dots and makes it automatic. The brain is trying to make it easier on you. So eventually, that habit runs itself. And whether or not you're truly hungry, it's like, oh, okay, like this is what we do all the time. And think about it. It's not just food. There are things that we do throughout our days that we don't really have to put much mind. And that's because the brain is doing all the rationaling and all the thinking for us. Um, we don't have to put that much effort. And that's why even building new habits can be hard because the brain is trying to correct you. It's like, wait a minute, you don't do this typically. Why are you doing that? And that's why that resistance at the beginning and the whole theory, and I know there are many theories out there about how many days it takes for a habit to stick, but technically, that's what is happening. Your brain is very efficient and it's trying to correct and is following patterns. Now, what are some tools? What are some things that you can use to tell the difference, right, between the habit and the hunger? How do you know what's what? First, you're going to hear that a lot. Try the pause test. Stop and ask, am I feeling physical signs of hunger? Or was I just triggered by a cue or a habit? Second, use the apple test. I know. Um, laugh at me. Would I eat an apple right now? If yes, it's most likely hunger. If no, but you would still go for the chips or the cookies, that's definitely habit craving. You see the difference? When you're hungry, you are not as picky. You're looking for fuel. Genuinely, your body wants that energy. But when you're having that triggering hunger, that habit craving, that it's not really physical, you're going to be picky and you're going to want something very specific. That is habit craving. Now, third, right? Like we said, first you pause test. Second, use the apple test. And third, try to delay and distract. Wait 5 or 10 minutes, drink water, take a quick walk, march in place. If the urge fades, it was truly not hunger. It was not your body saying, I need fuel. When it is hunger, that's where having balanced snack options ready makes all the difference. Instead of defaulting to a habit, um, you can actually fuel intentionally. And that will actually help you curve those cravings. Now, hunger and habit aren't necessarily good or bad, right? Like I'm big, like we have been raised in this diet mentality and assigning this is good, this is bad, like judgment on a lot of things. I want you to really let go of that mindset. Hunger and habit aren't good or bad. They're just different signals. Hunger says, I need fuel. Habits says, this is what I typically do. This is what I usually do. And when you can tell them apart, you step out of that autopilot. You move from reacting without thinking to making a choice with awareness. Like you're aware of what is happening. You are like, okay, I'm not going to rush into this. Let me think this through. And that's where you start to feel more in control. Okay. So today we decoded this difference, right? And I know that maybe a lot of these things sound like so simple, and yet they're so powerful when you become aware of this. So, decoding the difference between true hunger, what are the signs of hunger, and what are the signs or habit hunger. Next week, we're going to take this further. We're going to continue talking about cravings and talk about emotional eating and that 3 p.m. slump. It's one of the most common triggers for cravings. I think like regardless if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic or have insulin resistance, right? Like PCOS and all these other conditions, I think all of us know and understand what that 3 p.m. slump is. It's one of the most common things to experience. So don't forget, grab your free blood sugar balancing snacks list that I modified and updated at subscribepage.io/snacks is your go-to guide when hunger is real and you want to feel steady and satisfied. So thank you so much for listening. Share this with anyone that maybe is struggling with cravings, and I will see you on the next episode every Friday morning. As always, episode 45 is next. Have an amazing rest of your week, and thank you for listening.